Hey everyone, I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are doing great. It's been a while since I came your way. Just I've been around. I hope you're having a good week. Yeah, it's been quite a while since I put out a video, and then also to have a conversation or have an interaction with you guys. But Charlie, I hope you guys you do well. I hope you're doing good. I hope your week has started well, and you guys getting on with life. So today I'm just going to be talking about a few things. Most especially, I know most of you know all that has been happening, and just before the weekend, Charlie, all of the buhaha that is going on in the AI world, which is the artificial intelligence world. I'm sure a lot of you might have heard or are seeing news and trends. It's like that's like the top news, okay, in the artificial intelligence world, okay, where OpenAI's Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, has been booted out. At least that's what we know for now, okay. If we're to say that, officially, yes, the board have come out. They came out with an official statement. Aside that, we haven't really heard, any other official statement from the company, except for the fact that we are reading news items and articles, online. But then the good thing, or the trusted sources, or the reason you can trust these sources is that this news is coming from people who either work with the company or people who have some kind of relationship with the company, big heads, big leads, big guys who are already in the industry, who understand what is happening. You're hearing news from, Microsoft themselves, putting out tweets and setting conversations around it. And so based on all of these snippets of information, you're able to put together, or we're trying to make sense out of, all of the things that is happening. But then as it stands now, it's still happening. And as it today, which is the Wednesday, okay, which I'm trying to bring you this news, this very hour, all that we know about is the fact that Sam Altman might not be returning to. He's looking forward to return back to OpenAI to take up its post, because the board, as of now, they're trying to woo him back. Okay, I'm sure there's a lot that is happening behind the scenes which we are not very much aware of or are not privy to. But then he himself, as to reading from the post that or the tweets that he's putting out, it looks like he wants to return because the team wants him back. And the funny side, okay, the other funny thing is that there is the fact that Charlie, it's like 80% of the team that he's worked with, or people who work for him, or the his colleagues want him back, okay. And there's a petition that is going on now, and I think it's been signed by almost 75%, I think, of colleagues that he used to work with who want him back. That's pretty amazing. And now it's become I don't know if it's a grudge, but it's this misunderstanding, okay, between the board and even with the board. I think it's just one member of the board that's causing this whole, one member who seemed to have this kind of what's the word, this one member who seemed to have this conflict of interest, which he believes that he wasn't privy to before the recent development conference which they did, okay, out of which they brought out a whole lot of new products, new services which they were going to run, okay. And most salient among the things they were going to do was the fact that they were going to try to make ChatGPT more like an open, anybody could create a ChatGPT themselves. Anybody could create agents themselves, okay. The fact that they were going to make ChatGPT very broad, open it up a bit more. Aside for the fact that there's just one member of the board who seemed to have this conflict of interest, okay, together with other things or other financial issues he's dealing with, he feels, okay, the role he is in now is going to have some kind of a conflict. The stories and the rumors is really haphazard. It's not really in line, and so everybody's as at this point, everybody's reading a lot of meanings into all that is transpiring. But then I'm going to leave that to a later discussion. But as it stands now, the OpenAI saga is still ongoing. We are not too sure what is happening. But then another pointer I think you guys should know is the fact that Microsoft is open to, bring on Sam Altman to work with them. As in now, the deal is not really finalized as to what. So now we're not too sure if Sam is going to, sign up with Microsoft, or he is going to remain, for things to calm down and issues to be resolved for him to return back to OpenAI. That is not too certain, but as far as we know, it looks like he would. I mean, the choice, it might be easier to move to Microsoft to start a new group, a new AI group where and his colleagues back in OpenAI are willing to move. Charlie, that's the scary part of it. And if all of these guys move, OpenAI to me is like toast. OpenAI is like crashed. That's the end of it. And so the board is working really hard to try to bring them back to work and try to resolve things and try to bring matters. But then, I mean, this whole matter again, like I said, is like, Charlie, it's all really not making sense now, perhaps because the company is also not putting out any official statements, putting out official communication for people to know what is happening, but then we know that there's a lot that is happening in the background. But yeah, as of today's updates, okay, all I can tell you is that Satskiva, who initially appeared to be one of the main drivers of Altman's firing, flipped his support, signing the employee letter and tweeting that he deeply regretted his participation. Okay, and despite the initial tweet from Nadella, Sam Altman joining Microsoft is not a done deal. Yeah, I told you guys that is really not a done deal now, so we don't know whether he's really going to move to Microsoft or gonna wait till things resolve and then he returns back to OpenAI. And then also, that's the funny bit, you pay attention to this. Okay, 745 out of 770 people, okay, of OpenAI employees have signed this petition for Sam to be returned back to the position of CEO. That's like interesting. That's really interesting. So the board, his colleagues, Sam's colleagues back in OpenAI put together a petition to the board, okay, and it's now become like a banter between the colleagues, the staff of OpenAI, and the board. Charlie, this whole board matter, a company needs the board to run, okay, networking, experience, and if you want to get things done in places, okay, you need a board to be in place to run them. But where there's always that issue, because initially we also learned that there's this conflict of where this was also rumors, okay, that Altman is this person who seemed to be pushing a more technical but dangerous, like he seemed to be carving a dangerous path with OpenAI, okay, where he's pushing out certain products of which the board wasn't even aware of, okay, and this product ultimately is the whole AGI movement. Like, as far as we know, a lot of companies now are pushing towards AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, where we believe that systems would get to, or AI would get to that point where, Charlie, you don't even need prompts. It needs no human interference, okay, where machines are ultimately going to work by themselves, do things emotionally, cognitively, run an entire system or services by themselves without any human interference. That's like the ultimate for any AI company, okay. Yeah, and the fact that his colleagues are willing to move out, with him, if the board doesn't decide, if the board chooses not to bring him back, okay, Charlie, they're going to move out with him wherever he chooses to go. So yeah, that's what is happening. I think it's pretty inspiring to have your colleagues backing you for whatever reason, but there's always a conflict between the board, management, board, staff. We always see it, okay, happening. And then again, in a report from the Information, it appears that Emmett Shear was not the first pick as CEO. Emmett Shear, you guys know this guy, yeah? Well, everybody thought he was going to be the next CEO car, like the next in line. And we have Alexander Wang, CEO of Scale AI, and Nat Friedman, former CEO of GitHub, both declined their offer. In fact, there are other CEOs who have been pitched, okay, to come take up the job. So it looks like the board is doing a lot more from behind the scenes, which for us we are not hearing, we're not seeing. But then they're doing a lot more behind the scenes, try to, okay, we'll try to find somebody to, if you say, we'll come, we could try find somebody to fill in the position. But they should know that, okay, my point, my views really don't matter to them. But then, Charlie, that it's almost as if this is the end of OpenAI, which will be really sad. Charlie, you imagine, see the startup capital these guys raised, I think it's the highest in history. Like, they hold that record. And Sam is like that guy who's able to convince, because of his background, of where he's come from, why combinate. Like, there's this wealth of network from, okay, I don't think they'll be joking with this guy, okay. Yes, he might not have that. He's more like learning on the job, as a CEO, as a corporate person trying to run management stuff. But then he's a smart guy. He's a smart guy. I believe he's learning on the job and all of that. And might be taking certain silly mistakes, okay, certain silly decisions and making certain mistakes which might not be going well with the board corporately. But then technically, that's the guy you really wouldn't want to lose, okay. He knows how to raise money. He knows how to talk to people, convince people to get money, to run a tech industry, a tech business, I should say. Okay, so I don't think they would be willing to want to let him go easily like that. But then again, if he goes, it's going to be difficult to find somebody to really replace him. It's more like he's attached to this company. And so let's see how this all goes, okay. And lastly, the OpenAI board approached Anthropic, OpenAI's top competitor, for a potential merger, but was declined. That is stupid. That is like the stupid. People. It's like saying. I have anticipated, or I have suggested one of these measures ever happening. Okay, it's like saying Microsoft and who's Microsoft's competition? Would it be Apple? I don't know. But then Anthropic is like your competitor. And in fact, if it wasn't for the last dev conference, which the last OpenAI's outdoor of these products which they released recently, where people could build GPTs for themselves. Okay, if it wasn't for this dev conference, where we got to know a lot of the strides they're doing and a lot of the pace, where they are now. I have always said that, Charlie, Anthropic is like doing amazing. If it comes to their GPT, like really, I prefer using, Claude. Like I've always said, I prefer using Claude rather than ChatGPT, okay? And so why would you want to go to such a competitor to say that, they're almost doing the same thing? And so, but then Anthropic has declined a measure or any form of working together, because I think they still see themselves as a competition and wouldn't want to merge to do anything. But let's see how it goes with this whole brouhaha of CEOs and staff and board and of OpenAI, trying to resolve this. But then I'll keep you posted whatever happens, okay? And we'll talk again in another video.